one?
So let's say the first one, autism. Why people have autism? What is the...
It manifests in many different ways. Sometimes autistic people are just running on different programs, meaning they're more in tune to different sides of life. Most people are more in tune with 3D dimensional, the physical, the materialistic side of life. But that's not all there is. But they think that's all there is because that's the only thing they're in tune with. However, some autistic people, they have planned to come into Earth with this condition, to experience life through the lens of an autistic person.
So what they are learning?
Experiencing life through those lenses, they're still learning something. It's just not what people think it is.
So it's pre-planned.
And autism has different spectrums too. For some people who are high functioning, their lesson could be navigating through this world, but having a different motor system for most people in that sense. It's like 95% of people are using Windows XP, but that person is running on an iMac, an Apple system. You can still do the same things, just differently.
So the autism does not need to be healed or corrected.
No.
Right, and there's no way to change that. If someone has autism, they'll be that way.
Yes.
In their entire life.
If they so choose to continue to have that experience, yes.
Okay, so next is ADHD. It's the same concept?
ADHD for a lot of people is when they are more in tune with other dimensions as well, because they're picking up on a lot of messages, not only from the physical 3D world. You run through life with your 5 senses, what you see, hear, smell, feel, and so on. Someone with ADHD, they have a bit more senses. So that's why they are, in a sense, sort of operating with many more different senses. It could be 9 senses, 12 different senses, more than the 5 senses that people usually have, which is why a lot of them, because it really depends on the individual. For some, it becomes that they are very much overwhelmed when they have too much information. For some, it could be that they are more in tune with their other senses, otherworldly senses. So that they are sort of in tune with the higher vibrational frequency of things, that they are not so, in a way, they are more handicapped to the 5 physical senses. And for other people, it just helps them with their life purpose to be vibrating on a more different vibrational level, because it helps with their life purpose.
So can you say, if someone has an ADHD, their consciousness level usually is high?
Not always. It depends case by case.
So how about reading disorder? That's also, I have this a little bit. It's hard for me to read.
Because reading uses your 5 senses. If you're more in tune with using your other senses, of course, this wouldn't come as naturally to you as it would to most people who choose not to live life with ADHD. It could also be that for some souls who are a lot more advanced, there's no choice but to have this condition, because your soul just vibrates on higher frequencies, or if your other lives are on higher frequencies, it affects you as well.
I see. Okay, so next is OCD. I know this is very different.
OCD sometimes is when you focus your energies on specific senses. And a lot of it has more to do with hyper-focusing your energy on a couple of different senses. And because you're not very in tune with the other senses, that it might seem as if you're really just trying to define life through these various senses in a way it's controlling.
But this is something people it does not really serve them, and they don't want to be this way.
It doesn't serve them because they're, in a sense, very much blocked. OCD is not natural.
Right. It's usually people developed.
Yes, it's not because you are vibrating differently or because you have more senses. It's more like you have less senses because you are blocked.
So OCD is something that it can be healed.
Yes, because you are trying to force yourself to experience life only through these couple of senses when it...
Because because other senses, they are being
blocked.
blocked.
Yes.
So they are being blocked because of something happened in their life.
It depends case by case.
Or it can be something that they decide to experience in this lifetime.
For some, yes. But it's very rare case. Because it's not usually, how to put this in the correct words, it's not a very spiritual condition in a sense. It's still very much something, it's not something that the soul can relate to. It's more something that the mind, the ego can relate to and have created.
So let's say using quantum healing hypnosis, what do you suggest? What's the best?
It really depends case by case.
So I have to find out the cause first.
You have to talk with the person and connect with them to get what their background and what their experiences have been.
I see.